And hello, you absolute lovelies. Let's talk all about The Last of Us Season 2 finale, which ended mere moments ago. And what a finale it was. What a cliffhanger it was. I am so glad to know that we're getting a Season 3 because that would be so brutal if it was a true, full TBD. We gotta wait a year, but at least it does come back. Also very curious, having not played the game, if this is like half the game, if it's like 2/3, if we're getting a Game of Thrones situation where it's like they're gonna go off and do their own thing. I know it's written by the writers of the game. Is this where the game somehow ends? Please let me know vaguely in the comments below. I don't want to know where it goes next. I'd just love to know how much of Last of Us 2, the game, is this to this point. Also, while you're leaving a comment below, let's talk about the episode itself, and while you're pressing buttons, please hit that subscription bell. I'm almost at 50K. When we hit 50K, I'm going to do a 50 comic book giveaway, because this page is all about movies, TV, and comics. So if you like pop culture, if you like those medias, please hit that subscription bell, and also while you're pressing button, press the like. Let's talk about this episode. I love that it ended with a cliffhanger to this scale because I think that's one of the benefits of serialized TV. I don't, however, love that it ended with a cliffhanger of that scale with a character we've barely gotten in touch with. I do feel like the backstory of her dad being touched upon is exciting and interesting, but I also feel like the Season 3, inevitably is going to be about humanizing Abby because we humanized so many characters this season and had the back and forth like with the scars versus the wolves, that we had a lot of the back and forth of like world building out these characters. All the intros to these episodes were building out the world and recontextualizing, caring or not caring as much about exhibit A or B, right? It always changed in the intros. I think if we got a little bit more Abby, that would have been a little bit more impactful, because I do feel like it's going to be really wonderful to humanize her next season and to give a sense of like, in war we all lose, in this dystopia of people dying, like what do we have? But I do feel like if we cared at all about her beyond just her dad, who we didn't really know, we just saw die, there would have been a bit more of a like torn between how it's going to end. That said, that's my only real negative here. I love that it was an episode about loss and birth and what it is to kill and knowing you're ending a life, and in this case ending 2 lives, 3 in that one moment, but she knew she'd killed the guy. She didn't know she killed the woman and the unborn child, obviously, and that's ringing in her head while she's looking forward to bringing a child into this world, and people are shooting at Dina too, and everything young Manzino was doing there. Incredible work all around of like the reasons to live and the importance of it. And I really love the good versus bad conversation that ties into that, because that's what the season was all about. Who's good, who's bad? Was Joel bad for killing all those people to save our lead? In a way, I mean, look at what it affected. Which I thought at the end of Season 1 that was going to be this. Is, Abby bad for killing the person that has killed her friends? She did go on a mission to kill Joel, but Joel did kill her dad. Like, it is an interesting commentary on violence begetting more violence. The eye for an eye leaves a whole world blind is something that feels very abstract and feels very like, I know that expression, but someone hurt me, I'm going to hurt them. But this is showing on a macro that it is that, even in a post-apocalyptic dystopia. And what Abby left behind is shown in the very last frame. She left behind this stadium, this world where she's leading people into the future. She left that to go hunt Joel down. This paradise that Seattle had built, and then obviously the scars making it a problem outside the gates, but those gates, also love that imagery of like, what a perfect place to plant and to try to grow a society. You can bombard the gates, you can protect as much as you can, and inside you can, genius. I don't think I've ever seen that kind of imagery before, that specific imagery before. I've seen post-apocalyptic stadiums, but I loved it for life. And I really appreciate the fact that we got that moment right at the very end, and Seattle 4 became Seattle 1, and we're going to live through those days again, presumptively getting us to the point in Season 3 that ends with, did she actually kill Ellie? Is Ellie dead? The fact that I forget his name, I'm so sorry, the guy that young Manzino plays, Justin Nicky, the main female lead other than Dinah's guy, that dude, the guy that got her pregnant, he's incredible in the show. The fact they offed him means, to me, all bets are off. Like, that great moment they had together, this was really his episode. They did the thing that I love when a show can do, where it's like, you're giving him all these cool, incredible moments, and then you take them out, that way you care about them. Very common trope, but when it works, it really works, because I was like, man, I really like this guy this season. And I was thinking it in the episode. I was like, really excited to see how he grows and how he's going to be being a father and whether or not he's okay sharing those responsibilities in this horrible world, and he's dead. Very impressed with that dude. Very impressed with that role, that whole performance. Loved this episode also having lots of video gamey moments, like them walking down that building together and the scope of it, and then her leaving Felt like a video game cutscene, felt like you might have walked in and then the walkout was a cutscene. Loved her climbing up stuff, feeling like you're looking for a place to grab. Loved the boat insanity and how that would feel like a video game. You're starting to fight and then the wave takes over and then it becomes a cutscene. The stakes of the scars, all those explosions, all those things happening are, you know, fantastic little side mission of characters even alive anymore for season 3. Is that something we're going to get more of with Jeffrey Wright? Was he right that he's probably not going to see the next morning? And again, at the very end, knowing what they had to lose. This cycle of violence storytelling is why I like genre content. It is making you think about what you'd be willing to do and then the cost of that. And it's using genre content like zombies or post-apocalypse, all these things. Comic movies do it really well when they're good, to really reframe it. So it's entertaining, but it's also introspective. This is making me think about revenge and vengeance in a different way. This is making me think about the cycle of violence in a different way. This is making me think about life. Like, you know, it's even in a world that's ending, bringing life into it, how important that is. And how painful that scene was of the woman dying, just trying to save her baby, and you're doing a good job. Like, imagining that it was happening, and you know, love transfers, how painful that was, and what, you know, Ellie went through, and the last moments of Ellie's life, if she's dead, being that she just did that. And Abby, you know, taking revenge on revenge on revenge, all very fascinating. I hope Tommy's okay. I worry about Tommy. Tommy's great. Her not knowing that, you know, that's Joel's brother's probably helping him survive if he makes it. And all of this, where's Dina? My favorite character on the show, the great Isabella Merced. Where is she? Is she okay? She's pregnant. She's good. And the way of discovery, by the way, with the, you know, can't drink the whiskey and all those moments of her feeling like she needs to survive in a different context and him picking up on that, showing their connection, also that love, but also those were great tells, and her having to reveal, man, this was just so good. Really liked this episode, really liked this season, really liked this cliffhanger. My one note, like I said at the top, I would have wanted a little bit more Abby just to feel that tornness a bit. Also, she's so small. I feel like she's written to be big, and I feel like the character's meant to be intimidating physically, and she's intimidating in a military control and has an authority element to her. Caitlin Dever is a fantastic actress, but her frame is so slight. It's like when Tom Cruise played Jack Reacher. You could tell that wasn't quite there. I love Tom Cruise. I love him. But Alan Ritchson plays the character in a way that feels like if he's written as a big guy, you need a big guy. So there's something to that, but like that I can excuse that. I can chill with that because of how good Caitlin Dever is, how good of an actor she is. And I did struggle a little bit with you know, me not connecting with Ellie as much this season as the first season, but when she was in peril, I cared. So that was clearly enough. But yeah, there were elements of this season overall where, like, I didn't quite buy Ellie as much as I did the first season. I didn't quite buy Abby as much as I would have liked to, but everything else was great. I think the action was incredible. I loved the assault on Jackson and that whole sequence juxtaposing the brutality with what was going to happen to Joel and then happened to Joel. Loved how much we got Joel coming back in the penultimate episode. Loved the flashbacks. Loved the varying storylines, the world building, the supporting characters, all of the things they did to build out this as a show and not just have one narrative. Loved that it felt like a video game at so many points. They really did, in my opinion, a great job having not played the game. So once again, I ask you, please let me know in the comments below, is this half the game? Is this a third of the game? Is it 2/3 of the game? But don't tell me what happened next, please. I do want to watch season 3 and enjoy it. Did you enjoy this season? Did you have some of the same problems I did? I'm going to give it like an A-, personally, because of those problems being sizable, but it's still being exceptional and visually stunning and heart-wrenching and very taut. A lot of suspense and suspension of disbelief. They did a really good job, I think. So A- for me. Let me know in the comments below what you thought, if you enjoyed this season. I think season 1, a little bit better for me. And again, if you've played the games, vaguely let me know. And what you think, if you haven't played the games, or have, but keep that in mind not to reveal too much, what you think season 3 is going to be. Obviously, it's going to be humanizing Abby to us, but beyond that, what do you guys think? Do you think Ellie is somehow dead, or how does she survive? Either of those things. Just let's talk. Let's talk in the comments below. Also, press that like while you're pressing buttons. Subscribe if you haven't already. For this deep in the video and haven't subscribed, please do. Please join me in this journey. This is the end of The Last of Us coverage until next year, and/or ended last week. So, new stuff. Studio, I did a review. No one watches reviews for the studio, unfortunately, so it didn't do great. But new shows coming up soon in June. We've got Ironheart. We've got tons of movies in June. Gonna see lots from me in this page, so please subscribe for all that stuff. And the next show I think will be Ironheart, and then we're into an incredible, huge summer of movies, as well as the weekly comic stuff I'm never gonna stop doing. All right, much love, guys. I'll see you very soon. Like, comment, let's have talks. subscribe. I'm going to go rest. That was a lot of show. Okay.